Alright, so what are we at? Part 11, I think? Yeah, part 11 of USS Sasquatch sound design, I'm calling it now. And, I think I'm going to go back and... Because today I want to talk about automation and demonstrate it a little bit. And I think I'm going to go back and rename some of these... give them specific names, because right now they're just part 1, part 2, part 3, so on. Just give something a little more specific, because right now, it's, well, what is he talking about? Why should I, really watch this one? So anyway, so today is automation, so you'll see automation, and we'll get into that. But first, let's set the timer. Set a timer for 10 minutes.
Okay, 10 minutes. Starting.
Alright, so I went back, and from last time I did a little bit of Foley. As per my notes, here we go. Fix footsteps for Captain Jessup and Thomas, and add additional space, ship sounds, and see if some more I can't speak right now. Or read. See if more repair sounds can be added for the USS Boston. Okay, so I'll still need to do that. I went ahead and fixed these. So we can go ahead and cross this off the list. Okay. So we'll just now this is number 1. So all right. So first thing I did was footsteps. So we can see right in here. And I actually let's see. I have the stock. Well, not stock, but previously recorded footsteps, which I did before. Let's play that real quick. Zoom in here.
My trust in things.
Beautiful, isn't she?
I didn't even bother to look around. Yes, she is.
Okay, so... But those were just not quite sitting in the mix just right, so I said, okay. Well, they were for another character. So Foley, if you don't know, is when you perform the actions of the character in the scene. So I actually I walked on a certain surface with a certain pair of shoes on to be Captain Jessup. So
I always told me not to put my trust in things.
Beautiful, isn't she?
I didn't even bother to look around. Yes, she is.
I heard she has an all-new transit engine, 3 classes of torpedoes, maser cannon, point defense guns, and multi-spectrum shields. Her onboard labs and facilities are going to be the pride of the fleet. Eventually.
I turned to face the speaker, and I immediately shot to attention. This was an officer.
So here I did a little bit for Brianna. Now, in headphones it's pretty clear and loud. I may need to adjust it because I'm listening in speakers right now. So that's something to note. When you should always listen to it from at least 2 different sound sources. I have a pair of studio monitor headphones, and then I have a set of speakers which I listen to it on. I don't have actual studio monitors yet, but because I have the studio monitor headphones, I do all my fine-tuning there, and then for actual real-world listening, so to speak, I use my 2.1 speaker system. So it's a lot of time, because it is 2.1, it helps me catch some things that I've missed before, like if there's too much bass or rumble, the subwoofer picks up on that, where the studio monitor headphones might not, because they're kind of flat. Okay, so automation. I used a little bit of it in here. Let's see.
The answer came.
Hey, sis.
Thomas?
Who else? I saw your name on the station roster. What do you know? Little Bree Summers is almost an academy grad. It brings a tear to my eye. Is my hair turning gray? I hope not.
Okay, so... So this is where they, Bree and Thomas have their talk. And...
Miss?
Who else? Summers is almost an academy grad. It brings a tear to my eye. Is my hair turning gray? I hope not.
Sasquatch?
Navigator First Class Tomas Pedro Luis Salazar Gutierrez.
A cutter? I thought you'd be jockeying a high-speed frigate.
Are you kidding? You got any idea how fast a cutter can go? How tight they can turn? I switched loyalties just as soon as I got my chance to fire up a pair of Chiron engines.
Okay, so they have this talk, and then he encourages her to join the crew of Sasquatch, which the captain has just offered her to do. See, where was that? And that was in the script. That was in page 5. Yeah, page 5. He comes in. So, yeah, Jessup offers her the job. She has a patrol ship, and she talks with Thomas, her brother. Okay. So far, so good. Okay, so I needed to get the effect because now in the script you would, let's see, it may in fact say that he walks away. Let's see, you can catch up with me at Barrack 6. No, it just goes into her narration, which doesn't really say as narration, but you kind of get the idea that it is. Yeah. Oh, moving away. Okay, there it is. So, we really didn't have that in the original one, as I remember. I may have to go back and listen. And you can listen to it, as it'll show up in the cards at the end. But I needed to have him walk away, so...
Look, sis, give this some thought. Because we sure could use you. You can catch up with me at the Barrack 6.
Okay, so I have him and his footsteps going off to the right. Because I have him mostly to the right, so... To show you the automation, I'm going to do this thing in Reaper. We hit the letter P on the keyboard. I almost called it the P key, but that sounded like something completely different. So, and now you can see the envelopes where I did the automation. So you can see that it's panned to the right 12%, just like his dialogue is panned to the right 12%. And then I also had his footsteps, which... Normally I do separate footsteps, but because there's not very much of them here, I put them all in the same thing and just adjusted them individually. So as you can see here, it's at 12%, and then as he starts talking, we pan very steeply down to about 67%.
You can catch up with me at the Barrack 6.
Okay, and his footsteps... as people do when they walk away. Once again, letter P. We can see the pan envelopes. As people do when they walk away, you kind of hear...
You can catch up with me at the Barrack 6.
The footsteps will keep
Thomas's
going.
family and my family were in the same transport union. Growing...
Okay. So, now, we're probably going to go a little over the 10 minutes, perhaps, as I try to fit in this automation. The next thing I need to automate, just to show you how I automated that, well, not just that, it needs automation, is the sound effects in the opening lines here. So let's take a quick listen to that. So we have a couple minutes left here.
It was nighttime on the space station.
Okay, so the sound effects start right here. I need them to be pretty quiet and then just come up to right around here. So what I'm going to do is, to show the volume envelopes for the track, that is, you press the key, the letter V on your keyboard, and here you have it. So, oops, we're at negative 5.68 dB, and we're armed for recording. It's set to trim, but I don't want to trim. I want to write. So we're going to change that to right. I right click on that little record button. Okay. And now, negative 5.68. So I'll try to remember that number. And we're going to start it off at, with the 40 seconds we have left, we're going to go a little bit over this time. Okay, so let's bring it down. I'm going to start down here. Okay.
It was nighttime on the space station. This meant that the lights were dim and there were a few people.
Okay, let's see. Now at this point. Yep. Okay. We will continue. I just want to make sure I don't continue for too long. So we'll look into that as well. All right. So I want it to stop at. Oh, it's back at the beginning again, isn't it? So let's put it here. We're still on right. Okay. So negative. Let's zoom in. So at this point, I want it to be at 5 point. I guess the actual number isn't really that important. I just like to keep it around the same. If I could get a little more detail there. And it's doing everything else except 5.68. A little perfectionist here. All right. Okay, we're going to put it at 5.73, and then I'll just play through.
It was nighttime on the...
Okay, now we're going to tell it to read. And then we're going to go to the other one. Whoops. Where are we? Okay, good. So we're going to come to the ambient effects, and we're going to take that one. And -3. So somewhere around -3. As we learned, it's kind of hard to get it to sit right on that thing. So we're going to come out. Not out that much. And zoom out. Okay. So back to the beginning, and we're going to start this and come in somewhere around -3. What? No, don't read trim. Right. Okay. All right. So here we go.
It was nighttime on the space station. This meant that the lights were dim and there were a few people moving about as I made my way to one of the observation decks. That way I could get another look at her. The USS Boston. She was the first of a new class of ships, designed by and primarily constructed by the citizens of Earth.
Okay, so now if I tell this to read, that's going to take it back down again, which I don't want. So let's just bring this up to match. 3.68, 3.61. Okay. So that's subtle enough. Okay, so that's basically automation, and you saw how I moved it when I didn't quite get it with the thing. So I think, we're on read. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and make that go away. Hit V again. And let's zoom out and come over to that. Well, not that much. Like that. And then we'll listen to it again. And then you'll see the faders move.
It was nighttime on the space station. This meant that the lights were dim and there were a few people moving about as I made my way to one of the observation decks. That way I could get another look at her. The USS Boston. She was the first of a new class of ships, designed by and primarily constructed by the citizens of Earth.
Automation.
A beautiful shark of a vessel.
Just a few basics. So I think next time, we need to automate this some more, and then look at character environment, or environment for the narrator. How to handle narration, we'll call it that. And that will be the next video. So thank you for watching, and you can check out the earlier version of this project and the cards. And what else? Yeah, that should be up in the cards now. And yeah, we'll continue on with this in the next video. Thanks for watching.